Welcome to Talking with Tristan, with host Tristan Roberts and guest Cody Atkins.
That's how it works. Hi, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us on Talking with Tristan. My guest here is named Cody Atkins, and she is the author of a moderately interesting blog. Cody, tell us a little about yourself.
I run a blog about comic books and why things are good and why they're not.
Oh, that's interesting. So what do you think about the oversaturation of comic books and how that they are affecting the movies, and vice versa, how the movies are actually affecting the comic books?
I don't really think there's a super large over-infatuation. I mean, Marvel has already stated that it has its own movie universe.
Yes.
And that they're not the same as the comics, so to compare the two would be almost painful.
Oh, no, I understand that, but to a certain extent, you can see the correlation between the two. Iron Man's recent comics have been more of Robert Downey Jr. than the Tony Stark we've all come to love, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but there are some cases where this translation between comic book to movie has not gone well. For example, the Fantastic Four movie with Josh Trank. How do you feel about that?
I don't feel anything. That movie doesn't exist to me.
That movie does not exist to you? Well, I understand that. It's not a very popular movie, but there are many movies like that today that still exist, and directors keep purposely, or not necessarily purposely, but they not necessarily get the full concept of the comic books and the literature that it's based on. And it really affects the content, I believe. But we'll get back to that in a moment. All right, we have a quick word from our sponsors. We'll be back to talk about the directors and how they affect Marvel movies. Please stay tuned and watch the live chat. Thank you so much. Tired of your world domination plans being thwarted by pesky superheroes? Then try this new product from Dastardly Bastards Co., Evil Genius Juice. This drink will make you turn into an evil genius within the first 10 seconds of that sip. You'll be faster, stronger, and even more sinister with each gulp. Deliciously evil, made with real puppies.
Mwahaha. After one sip, you'll be the baddest on the block.
It's amazing what you can do with just a spoon. Oh, thank you for joining us. So we were talking about directors and how they affect the movies. Now, this can be a good or bad thing. Talk to us what you think about movies such as Avengers having kind of mixed reviews.
The recent Avengers movie, with its mixed reviews, I honestly think Joss Whedon put himself just a little too much into that film.
That's interesting. A lot of people would disagree with you. They're even desiring a director's cut of sorts because they don't think that he got to make the movie he desired, but studios have kind of prevented him from kind of providing the content
Well,
he
absolutely.
wanted.
I wouldn't mind watching his cut of that movie. Now, I'm not saying the studio didn't have anything to do with his cut being lessened or shortened or any of that manner. I would like to see his cut of the movie. I wouldn't mind sitting through a 3-hour movie. I do, however, mind getting weird bits and pieces of plot line, like Thor's plot line that had no sense. And I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to take him to another world. That's why he's not there for Civil War. But it doesn't make sense as to why you have that random plot.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of work to put into just a
Of
2-hour
course.
movie, yeah. And you know, some directors I think can have the potential to work with that. I think the Russo brothers taking on the new Infinity War movie is really good. I think Peyton Reed did really well with Ant-Man. What do you think about these newer directors? They're kind of picking random directors. How do you feel about that?
They're picking random directors because they don't cost as much. However, the Russo brothers did a fantastic job with rebooting the Captain America series. Rather, not the first movie, but getting people to watch the second movie.
Yeah, no, I agree, absolutely. They got to make people say that Captain America was a badass. I absolutely agree. I think those directors are doing a remarkable job. I can't wait to see what they do with the franchise.
Origin stories are so hard to conceive and so hard to get people on board with. That's why Marvel is just not doing them anymore.
I absolutely agree with you. Now, what do you have to say about all movies? Can I get a last quote about what do you think about these Marvel movies and their future?
I think they're pretty great, and I think it's time that
Well, that's
they work.
fantastic. We have to take to that's it for today. That's our show. Please tune in next week.